wanted to answer.
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to my friend Marina from Heart Center Tarot and my friend Val from Dragonfly Crystals. We're glad to have you here today. Welcome. Miss Shari will be missing MIA because she's doing another show today. And some of us, we do that if there's a show, that is scheduled. And so we can be on other people's channels as well. And I know that this is a new time for a lot of you. So we've only got 8 people here right now, but it's all right. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
It'll take a little bit for folks to realize. And you know what, to be honest, I was going to make a thing about, new time, blah, blah, blah. And it totally slipped my mind.
Yeah.
So
it's all right. Everything's fine. It is what it is, and who wanted to come and is here is who wanted to be. So yeah.
Yes, I did the same thing about the time shift, and I have it written down on my calendar correctly, but the brain hasn't caught up.
All right. All right. I asked this guy to come and price cleaning up my yard because of the storm we had in November. And I go out to take my trash out, and there's somebody parked in front of my house, and they're walking around, and they're like, hi. And I'm like, hi. I thought it was with his wife taking a walk, I thought, and it was him. And I'm like, duh. Don't say okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Man,
yeah.
Those things can happen.
They can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we just go with them and go, well, you know what? These things happen when you get older. I'm okay with it. It means that I can do anything that I want and say, I'm just old and people.
Amen. Amen.
Did I say that out loud? Oh, sorry.
I know. I was telling people that actually I had read somewhere, what is the best decade of your life? And they polled a bunch of people. And actually they said their 70s, their 60s, then their 80s. None of it was before that. Yep. And so I thought, it's liberation. That's what it is. It's absolutely liberation. So So we're all in for some fun coming up really soon.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it takes that long to kind of get to know yourself.
Yeah.
To realize that, I don't have to please anybody but me.
Yep.
I can say whatever I want, and it doesn't, whether you like me or not, is totally irrelevant.
And isn't that liberating?
Yes, definitely. The only thing I don't want to ever do is what was done to my son. His grandmother saw him after a long period of time. Yeah. She's telling somebody else who's not very far away, have you seen Alex? He's got really fat. And he's like right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to be that person either. No. I don't want.
No.
No.
Yeah. No. But, she wasn't, she was kind of the cranky grandmother anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Some people just are. Some people just are.
Some people just are, and they don't change when they get older. They get more. They get extra spicy.
But have you noticed that the people that are the most ornery and nasty and stuff, they live forever?
They do. What is that?
I don't know.
Too stubborn to lay down and give up.
That's it. It must be that. That
must be.
Yeah,
must be.
Yeah.
Well, and along with that, the saying, only the good die young, right? So I mean, God doesn't want him, the devil doesn't want him. So what are you gonna do? Just forget about, put him on the shelf. Just forget about him for that.
Put him on a slab. There you go. Anyway, so I am thrilled to be here with you ladies, and I want to say hello to Donna Marie and Mary Hernandez Walker and Maureen and Laura, Jen and Rossi. I feel like Miss Jean. Charlie, Linda Kennedy, Imelda's here, and Artist Liz,
Yeah.
Very good. And I know there's more. I just can't get the
Linda
thing.
Kennedy, book Bewitched, Jen
Book's
Bowles.
here. Okay.
What
Welcome.
is here? Yeah.
You're right, Charlie. Life gets better. Life gets better.
Yes.
There you go. Yes. Oh, Wildflower. You had a mother like that? Oh dear. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to be in that thing. So today, I have a list in the back of one of my journals that says list of ideas. And one night in the middle of the night, I was inspired. So I pulled from this list and I thought it would be fun. And so I'm hoping it is for everybody because I'd like your input too. I was telling Marina backstage that when I meet people who went to high school, let's say between 1969 and maybe 1977 or 8, something like in that time period, that I went to high school with you. Well, I wasn't in your high school class, people will say to me. I said it to Milu, and he's like, do I know you from high school? I said, no, but we were in high school together.
Yeah.
So because my sisters have that sort of commonality, we're not exactly the same age, but we're in the same generation.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be lots of fun to talk about revisiting high school and anything that, you want to talk about: fashion, music, clubs, dating, I don't know, parties, whatever you want to talk about. I just thought it would be fun. Oh,
Fun.
finally, you got your name called, Mary. Yeah, it was tripping over my tongue. Yes.
Yeah. I was telling Allie that shortly after I started grade 10, which is high school up here, I think it is for you guys as well. I realized that I was much, much too smart for a lot of the things that were happening there. And I could probably do a lot better on my own. So as soon as I could, I quit because I don't need this. So the only job that I could get was as a cashier at the old Kmart.
Oh,
The blue light special.
yeah.
Yes, blue light special. Attention Kmart shoppers.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I did that for about a year before I realized that, this isn't going to work out. Because in that time while I was working, I had been applying for the jobs that I thought I was qualified for because I'm smart and I learn quick.
Because we know everything when we're 15.
Oh, please. Yes. So I thought, well, okay, maybe I should do something about that. So rather than go back to high school, we had what was called the Alberta Vocational College. And it's where you could go to get upgrading. They were also teaching, English as a second language. They had secretarial school and so on. So I went in there, and it didn't take me very long to go through and get my grade 12 diploma, because I wasn't stupid, but at the same time, because this was geared towards adults, there was a lot of things that they kind of took out and gave you what you needed. So so I ended up getting my my high school diploma through them. And then once I did that, then I went into the stenographer program, where I learned how to type and how to take shorthand and all that good stuff. And then I could get my first real job. Right. But when the kids that I had gone to grade 10 with kind of graduated the same time that I did, really, I was just sort of on the fast track. So when it came time for, I think it was the 20-year graduation anniversary, whatever. Anyway, and I was invited. And I remember one of the girls that I went to through junior high and part of high school with, Her name was Monica. I'm not going to tell you her last name.
Right.
But Monica was brilliant. She was book smart. And you would say to Monica, what do you want to do when you're out of school, when you grow up, any kind of stuff like that. And her thing was, I'm going to be a scientist and I'm going to be a doctor.
Oh,
Wow.
I've had a
Oh,
couple of those too in my class. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 20th anniversary comes up. And by this time, I'm married. I've got a child. My husband and I go to the anniversary, and there's a girl that looks really familiar. So it's like, go over. Yes, she was Dr. Monica, last name.
Wow.
She was an astrophysicist. It was like, oh my God, you did everything that you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
Like that you.
Wow.
And
Oh.
that was mind blowing. Like it
Sure.
almost
I'm
went
mind
to sleep.
blown.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
had a
know.
conversation once in grade 10. Okay.
Mhm.
We talked to each other.
Yeah. You just
Wow.
never know. I mean,
No.
we had the girl, I think that was the valedictorian of our class. She had long blonde hair, and she would stand there and comb it. It was straight. And then she would whip it back at the guy behind her at the desk.
Yeah.
And she wanted to be a professor. And she actually went into what is it? Where it's military, but women were just being put into that military academy. West Point. She went to West Point. Yes,
Oh
she was
my
like in the
goodness.
first class at West Point.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
And she had to wear men's shoes, and it hurt her. It hurt her whole physique and everything. But I saw her at, I think it was my 30th reunion, and by that time I was teaching because here I am. I had 360 people in my high school, and I'm like 210th, 230th person. I'm not the smartest, sharpest knife in the drawer. I didn't give a shit. I was into all the clubs and all that shit,
Yes.
I would be you, Allie, that I didn't give a shit about any of it.
I had to be in the pep club and go to this thing and be in the plays and all this shit.
Yeah.
So I get there, and she's got this young husband with her that looks like he's probably 20 years younger, probably a student of hers. I don't know. Ooh. But we all knew that, she was going to be, she manifested, Mary said, and that's your girl and mine. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Wow.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow.
I was so impressed
Mm-hmm.
that even back then there was no doubt. This is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing.
This is impressive right now. It just goes to show you that when you're focused, laser focused on what you want to do, and you go ahead and go do it, look at what happens. But, there are those of us who knew, like me, it was not going to be anything that these people could teach me to do that I would take with me. So I said, I'm just space holding here. For school. And they didn't teach you how to be a metaphysician. They didn't teach you how to do spiritual work or any of that. I already knew, that none of this was going to happen here.
Well, not only that, Val, we didn't have all those different
and Allie, I didn't even have a concept in my head I could do that or be that, because it wasn't even out in society in that way that there was something I could do. All I knew is nothing that they taught there was anything I was interested in.
Right. Well, what was there? So everybody in my junior, senior class had a boyfriend, and they were going to get married after graduation. That was the thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was one girl, she married her boyfriend. She went out with him since 8th grade. Yeah. And she's still with him. And then there's another one that married her boyfriend from 8th grade. Yeah. And she came home one day about 2 or 3 years later and found him in bed with a man. And that wasn't something that was ever, I mean, we knew about gay people, but that wasn't something most people found in their
No, that was
home.
something.
That was something else. But this was it. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have a baby. Well, I
No,
wasn't.
I have the same story. I know people who were high school sweethearts and they're still together to this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be really bonkers if I was still with the one because he would have been MAGA.
Hey.
Oh,
No.
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 Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But
couldn't
how
do
many
that.
choices did you have? You could be a nurse, you could be a teacher, which I was. That was what I wanted to be, 5th grade, but I never, I would have killed them. And you could have been a flight attendant or a stewardess.
Yes.
A nurse, a secretary.
Yeah.
That was about it.
And I went into I was in the secretarial realm and I was an executive assistant. And how, that I even have English skills. I mean, that just shows you when you sit in class, you absorb it.
If you read as well.
I was a ferocious reader.
Yeah. That helps you completely.
I was, from the time I can remember, I had a book in my hand at all times.
Yes.
So, I have that. At least I always had a college level vocabulary and above because of my parents and because I was reading. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that was modeled in my home as well.
Yeah.
And I see, for me, I think you were the oldest, right, Val?
No, I was the youngest.
Oh, you're the youngest as well. Oh, okay.
My sister is only a year and a half older than me, and she was she wasn't really much of an older sister, as an older sister should be. An older sister, no.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, I was the baby, and I was actually the surprise baby because all the boys were gone. But I absolutely loved high school, but high school did not love me. If that makes sense. I was not popular. I was not, even though I did all this stuff, I was just one of the girls, And
you probably don't realize you were more popular than you think you were.
Yes.
Well, it's
because
it's very possible.
Because you were seen, and people that didn't know you, who were in the nerd crowd or in the crowd that wasn't social, probably go, "Oh man, if I could only be like her, because look at all these clubs she's in and look at what she does. And she does all these things for the drama club or blah, blah, blah." But they don't know inside you, this is what you're thinking. They go, "Oh man, look at her." So
well, I was always friends with the sports people, the druggies, the cheerleaders, the nerds. I mean, I had friends in every because
there you are. I mean, there's people, introverted people that you never hear from. They're looking at you in school going, "Oh, man, she must be so popular. Look at her. She's friends with all these people
everywhere." Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, I wasn't that popular." Huh?
I know. Well, when I got to college, though, everything changed. That's when I became what they call big woman on campus. I was,
but it didn't change. You took your mojo.
I got rid of all the extraneous BS from high school because there's so much judgment there, isn't there?
Yes,
it's a judgment town when you're in high school.
Yeah, that's true. Linda, you wanted to be an archaeologist, but women were not wanted. Then an actress. You were in a movie. Well, good for you, Linda. Good for you.
Awesome.
I'm glad to hear that.
Wow.
Maureen wanted to go in the Navy, and I think you did, didn't you, Maureen?
Yeah.
I think she did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't start college till I was 30. That's the best time. Honestly. Well, I went back to get my master's at 44. So you became an art therapist and a mental health counselor. I love it. That's great.
That is really great.
It's that tells, and I already knew this, but it's never too late.
It never. I went back and did college as an adult. So, there it is. Yeah. But you know what? I have to say, from the time I was young till, now even, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Sure. Well, I even said to my kids, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And it wasn't, I didn't start doing it until I was 45, 46 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Linda wanted to be a teacher, but she was tired of going to school, and I don't blame you. Yeah. And Rossi, Libra, and friends with everyone. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Yeah. Rox, you're a bit younger, but high school sucked. And I think high school did suck. For me, it was junior high that really sucked.
Mhm.
But I know my daughter is mid-40s and she hated high school. My son is just 40. He hated it. Well, he went to
You
4.
know, I didn't hate it at all. I loved the social aspect of it.
Okay.
I had my
Yeah.
crew, you know, I had my posse, whatever you want to
Yes.
call them, and we had fun.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Oh
You know,
God, yes. The parties that we,
yeah.
you know, I had this old Ford Falcon, 68 Ford Falcon.
Oh,
And half the time it would stall and I would have to
yeah.
go
Yeah.
down the hill. People would be out pushing it. I remember going in a snowstorm because I hung out more with people a year ahead of me because that's what
Yeah.
my boyfriend was. And he
Yes.
was at college. So almost every weekend I was up there. And
Mhm.
I, you know, so I kind of disassociated myself with the senior class because I was done with that, you know.
Oh, look at
Exactly.
you,
Yeah.
done with that. You and Marina.
Uh-huh. I did. I mean, I
Don't
finished
have
and
time
everything,
for
but
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't. The people in my
We're
class
done
were,
that.
a lot of them were, you know,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
You know, my kind high school was a little bit in the hippie dippy era.
Oh, yeah.
So there wasn't that much of catty meanness, and there was a lot of love. So we
Mhm.
didn't really have a lot of
Uh-huh.
people hanging out saying mean things about people. I wasn't
That's good.
in, I never
That's good.
saw any of that.
You
I
never saw
really
it.
didn't. And so
Yeah.
I had a very
Mhm.
beautiful high school and middle school experience, actually.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
both nice. And it was really nice because I hardly ever, you know, I was lucky if I got a D or C on a test.
That's good. No, I had math. I
I
couldn't do math.
never
Couldn't do math.
studied. I never
Uh-huh.
did homework. And somehow I graduated.
I get it.
But
I
I have such good English. I have excellent English
Mhm.
skills and
Mhm.
excellent, I mean, not higher math because I couldn't stand calculus or algebra.
Yeah.
I
You know,
couldn't pass basic math. I had to take it like 3 times.
Yeah. Me,
I had a
me
4th
too,
grade
Ellie.
yeah, I had a
Yeah.
4th grade teacher tell me that I had a mental block in math,
oh,
and
people
I
can.
carried that with me. I
Yes,
carried
yes,
that
yes.
with me.
Yeah, that was a bad thing to tell
It
you.
was very bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to tell a kid something like that. That's ridiculous.
No, not at all.
Everybody learns in a different way, and
They do.
maybe you haven't had not at that time been
Mhm.
taught in a way in which it sunk in. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Wildflower, no, I can't imagine being in high school now, and I
Yeah.
believe that, it would be traumatizing,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
especially
Well,
with all the cell
now
phones and all that stuff.
now it is all about judgment and
Yeah.
social, you know, and they harass and bully each other.
Right,
Yes.
right.
I couldn't take that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
No,
Hi,
I
Carolyn,
don't
Peter.
either.
It's
And, you
nice
know,
to see you. Yeah. Go ahead, Marina. I'm sorry.
One of the things that I was, you know, kind of skipping around online today, and I tuned into part of Jimmy Carter's Laying in State and whatnot, and it was something that had been streaming for like 15, 16 hours or whatever, and so I tuned in, and I was shocked by some of the comments that people were making and how they found it funny, and how, you know, commenting, yeah, who's going to open the casket, and do you think that there is Big Macs in there? And it was just, I ended up making a comment, and I said, I'm sorry, some people's parents did a piss poor job of raising these
Good for
adults.
you. Good for you.
Because that, you know, this is a solemn occasion. That you know,
We have to have
there's
people from Canada come and tell us.
I know.
Because
Yeah.
some of you need
There's
to
no
give
decency.
the respect to someone who served this country for 4 years, not the
Absolutely.
audience here, because I know you're all beautiful,
Yeah.
but who have served the country for
yes,
4 years. That he didn't get reelected. I don't even think he wasn't that popular, but he had a heart of gold, a beautiful soul.
Afterwards, what he did was amazing.
his
he gets-
legacy is
Yeah.
huge. His legacy is huge. And
Absolutely.
I can't even tell you how much I appreciate him. And I got to shake his hand actually.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He was at an American Himalayan Foundation in San Francisco, and that organization. He spoke there, and he walked by, and I put my hand out, and he shook it, and so I got to shake the hands of Jimmy Carter.
Oh,
That's awesome. I heard that when he ever went on a plane, he would go down the plane and shake everybody's hand. How
He
many
was good
people
at
would do
that. Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
he did that.
You know, that's being raised with manners.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
being
Well, we don't have much of that anymore. There's no
No,
decency.
manners is what are
No.
manners? Yeah, it's
It
like
reminds-
when you say excuse me, and somebody says, "Why did you burp?" Instead of yes, okay, or please or something.
Right.
That it's like what these people have said that to me when I am, whatever. It's just
Standing
so
in front of them
rude.
or something. I've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
that. If I'm looking at if somebody's looking at a shelf full of food and they're trying to find,
Yeah.
the creamed corn or something,
Right.
and I have to pass by them, I always say, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
I
Yes.
always do. And then
Yeah.
every so often you come across that person will say, "Why did you burp?" It's like
Yeah.
It's
Where'd
a
you get that?
it's
I
like
know.
disrespecting you for having manners. It's
Right.
like what is this
Right.
whole thing about disrespecting people
There is.
for actually having social your
Yeah.
etiquette skills
Mhm.
to for
Yeah.
society. What happened to people who are conscious and thoughtful of other people, thoughtful
Right.
of other people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that just
No, and that I could, one of the other things that I said was, this. Imagine if it was one of your parents in that coffin. Would you
Yes.
want people around you talking about your parent the way that you're talking? And yeah, someone basically, they I can't remember the word that they used, but it was basically making fun of my English ability to use larger words, and kind of told me where I could get off. And I thought, yeah, okay.
There was somebody, and I had said something about on a thing about Biden. I said, stop picking on him, please. Stop picking on him. F you, yeah, lady, F you, F you. I must have gotten 25 FUs for that one, so I don't do it anymore. I'm, and it got me too upset.
Like, really, that's the only thing. That's the only word that that, and you think that word applies to everything. Is really
absolutely.
Yeah, I was really I was disgusted is what I was.
It's
this
disgusting.
is whether you think he was the greatest human alive or not. This is someone who has passed. It's a solemn occasion.
Yes.
A little bit of a modicum of respect. Just
maybe they should start teaching etiquette in school again. Common
and civics
and manners
and civics. They don't teach
civics.
civics anymore either.
And civics. And civics. So
you had a great group of friends giving wings. That's good. Some of you don't have good memories. In fact, some people have said, I don't want to stay because I didn't have good memories.
That's okay.
But I'd like to, if that's okay, you can do whatever you want. But I'd like to flesh out why. Because some of it has to do with being popular or not, or being picked on or not, or might be your monetary situation. Like some people had to get lunch because her parents didn't make a lot of money or whatever. For me, I think one of the best things, and I don't know if I would have felt this way if I didn't go, but was prom, because we did it in the gymnasium. It was the Enchanted Forest, and we had all these Christmas trees, and we had all this crepe paper and all that other stuff. And, we all got dressed up and all went, but there were people who did not get asked, and they don't have a good feeling about that, So it depends on like Marina wasn't thrilled to be there because she knew more than she needed to.
And that's how I felt during high school. and even
Uh-huh.
junior high, that feeling that I'm just wasting time or time
Uh-huh.
has to go by till I can
Yeah.
get to
Uh-huh.
this point or that point or whatever. It was
Mhm.
never a feeling that whatever I'd be doing would be my final calling. I knew it
Uh-huh.
wouldn't be, but I didn't know
Uh-huh.
what that calling was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So yes, I want to talk a little bit about hippies because I
Mhm.
don't believe that I was in the generation of hippies,
No.
but
Yeah.
but I was right on the fringe.
Yeah, and
Yes.
So,
I too was at the very, very
and
end, like it was over,
yeah,
but there was the residual.
Yes.
there was,
So,
well, and then there was like Ryan O'Neal Love Story, the
yes,
movie.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
then we had a sit-in actually my
Oh,
sophomore year at the high school because I went
oh,
to an academy and girls had to wear nylons and dresses and boys had to wear shirts and ties. And so they all wanted to wear crummier clothes, jeans and all that. So a lot
Yeah.
of them went to the sit-in and I was like, oh, I won't do that. I didn't want to get in trouble. So
oh,
I was that girl,
Yeah.
oh,
and I went to class, I didn't, but
wow.
it did get changed. It did get
Yes.
changed. And then I remember in 1972,
Mhm.
and was it January or February? I can't remember. The Vietnam War ended and all the bells were pealing in town.
Yeah.
And I can remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing how good our memories are. And then you think, when you look back at memories, memories can be distorted and you
They
can
can
think
be. Oh,
you
yeah.
can think
Yeah.
something's a lot more grand than it was, or
Right. Yeah.
whatever.
And the older you get, the better it was, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Of
You're right.
course.
Yeah.
Of
yes.
course. Yeah.
And so now I caution myself, cautionary
Uh-huh.
tale. I say, yeah, it probably wasn't that great, or not saying it like that, but I go,
Yeah.
now, when I met up with a girlfriend that I've had for a long time and had a lot of fun with as an adult, and we
Mhm.
used to travel together. Then I met up with her again, and we had nothing in common. There was no,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was like, and whatever I had made up in my mind about, she was like my sister. We had so much fun. We were right in sync. And I like, man, their cautionary tale,
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
your memory can make up something
Oh, yeah.
much more grand
Yeah.
than it
Oh,
is.
yeah. That's
And
very
then
true.
and
Yeah.
then reality is this.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. Well,
So,
and I actually hated the fact we had to take PE because
mhm.
we had to wear gym clothes and we
Yes.
had to wear nylons, like I said. So we had to go down into not in our gym clothes, but we had to go
Oh,
down
okay.
Yeah.
into the locker room, take
Yeah.
everything off,
Yes.
get into our gym clothes,
Yeah. We had
go
to
do
do
the
that
gym,
too.
be all sweaty and
Yeah.
bleh, and
Yeah.
put our nylons back on again.
Well, see, they made you take a shower in my school.
Oh yeah,
So,
very quick.
yeah, we would run through, we'd put a towel around ourselves with our bra still on underneath, but we take the straps down
Uh-huh.
and never take our underwear off. And then we run through real quick to look like we did it because you got marked off if you didn't do it. So, of
Right.
course, we never took a shower. So,
No, we just go in because we don't have time. The bell
there
is going
isn't,
to ring, and we
there
got to walk up
is,
to
there
this
isn't
building.
time. But for those of
Yeah.
us who were very modest and
Right,
shy
right,
and had
yeah,
not gotten naked in front of anyone else ever,
right, right. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there was a gal. She would run through she would run through the shower, and she would go around with no towel,
oh,
bouncing around, and she had no worries at all. It was like there she
see,
is, and yeah,
there were people like that who
yeah,
were
yeah.
mature,
Didn't
but I
bother her.
wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
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 I wasn't mature enough to handle that.
Oh,
And
Liz, I'm so
to this day, I don't run around doing anything like that.
Oh
I'm,
no, I don't either.
I'm
No,
so
no,
shy.
no. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like if you want to, that's fine. I just don't feel that
Yes.
comfortable
I
doing it.
don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Janet
there-
says,
there's
Val,
some-
did you go to my high school?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it could be. But you
So,
know,
yes.
there I remember that there was a lot of things that were just so what's the word? So naive, so innocent,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know. That
Yeah.
yeah, oh, if here you are, you're in junior high or high school, and somebody's mom or sister was pregnant and they would come get you. It was like, did you say that so and so's mom? Oh my God, she's pregnant.
She had
It was-
sex.
Yeah, yeah. Like, isn't she too
Yeah.
old for that? Like, what
I
are they
know.
doing? It was,
I know.
Like we think the
Yeah.
adults are 200 years old. That's what we
yeah.
in our minds
Yeah.
Yeah.
look at them as being so old.
Yeah.
I remember
Well, what
that.
about the teacher's room? The teacher's room,
Yeah.
you'd open the door and the smoke would be,
yes.
and you'd go, "Oh my God, they smoke." That
I
teacher
know
smoked.
exactly. I know exactly. Huh?
Oh my
Think
God.
about that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, it was nothing that, yeah, your principal, yeah, sitting in his office, if he called a parent or somebody in, yeah, that's the first thing they did was, you know, he would push over the ashtray and everyone would light up and
Yeah,
they'd
yeah,
have a
right.
discussion. And
Yeah.
nobody ever thought that, you know, here you are and you're coughing. It's like, what do you want? You know, what's the matter with you?
Oh yeah. 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 Oh, it's awful. Your all your clothes would stink. If you just like, I'd have to go. I work for the office, and I'd go in and give a teacher a
Yeah.
message sometimes,
Yeah.
and I would
Yeah.
go in to hand it, and I'd come out and
Yeah.
I stunk like a pack of
Yeah.
cigarettes.
It's just
Yeah.
the same way as when you were a teenager and you'd go to dances and you come home, dances
Yeah.
outside the school. Like it,
Yeah.
we would go to Berkeley and we go to the Berkeley University. There was one particular on University. We'd go there and dance, and we would come home like an ashtray.
Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't smoke, but I smelled like an ashtray. My parents never said a word.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you knew
Yeah.
they smelled it.
Of
But,
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep. And
Yeah.
yes, smoking in the hospital. If you watch Johnny Carson, he was sitting at his desk always smoking.
Yes.
And
And
yeah.
oh, who was that doctor? The doctor show. Yeah, that I can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, it was part of the scene.
Yeah.
Was
scene.
yeah, you would come in and you know, you would take out your cigarette and the doctor would come over and light it for you. And
Exactly.
okay, so let's talk about your results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was so much a part of culture. It was all in all
Oh,
the
yeah.
like,
Nobody
Alfred
thought anything of it.
movies,
Yeah.
people smoke.
Yeah.
It was the sophisticated
It was.
you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Marcus
men always
Welby.
flicked the
Marcus-
lighter and lit the cigarettes and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yep.
when someone would pass you a pack, here, would you like a cigarette? And you said, no, thank you. It was like, what's the matter with you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. I
Exactly.
know.
What's the matter with you? What? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the things, I don't know about you, but I mean, I had my first job at 16. I worked at the hospital. My dad was an x-ray tech, and I met the ladies in the office, and I didn't know how to type. I taught myself how to type.
Wow.
I was in the college program, and you
Yeah.
didn't get the business classes if you
Yeah.
were. So I started this job, and I had a switchboard,
Mhm.
you know, and I had to learn how to do it, like one ringy dingy, and I had that. And
Just the party to whom I'm speaking.
but I was also
Exactly,
calling
Lily
out.
Tomlin and the
But I had people having heart attacks at the front door, little kids losing their foot from
Oh my
a
God.
lawnmower, and I'm 16 and I'm dealing with all of this.
Oh my gosh.
And people nowadays would say, "Oh, that's triggering. You can't have children working in a place like that."
You're right.
But
They
I
would.
would be,
Yeah.
they'd say to me, somebody's coding down in the ER. And I'd say, you know,
Yeah.
code 99 ER.
Oh
You
my
know?
God.
Yeah,
You did
yeah.
that?
I did. I had a lot of responsibility, and I made $1.60 an hour.
Oh my God.
Which
Well,
that
for
was
back
probably
in the
like 10
day.
bucks an hour. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah.
Back
But
in
I
the
was
day.
there on the
Yeah.
weekend when no one else was working. So I was in charge of the office. I was in charge of all of that stuff. And now looking back on it, I think, why did I sign up for that?
Yes.
That's crazy. Yeah, it was
But
strange.
it was a job.
It was a job.
I know. I think in the people that I hung around with,
Mhm.
a job was a responsibility. It was something that you took
Yeah.
seriously. It wasn't something that, well, you know, yes, I'm going to get a job here, and if I don't like it, I'm just going to quit. That
Yeah,
was like,
none of
no, no,
that.
no.
You didn't even ever have the sense of a
No.
temporary, oh, I'll do whatever I want and all this and all that. You took a job like you have a contract to show up.
Yes.
Right.
and do,
Right.
and,
Yes.
you know, where is
Yeah.
that?
And there was, no talk about,
Yeah.
well, no, I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, or
You will
I'm not
do
working on
everything. You'll go
Saturdays.
clean the toilets.
That's
And
right. You had not only that, but you didn't call in sick
No,
either.
you did
No.
not. You
No, no,
never.
no.
A clean record. That's what you
Yes.
were taught.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Of
wow,
attendance.
Leah.
Attendance
Leah
for
had to get her
everything.
own place before she was
Wow.
18.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
do you think, Leah, that helped you to be more individual and you know, I really do think that these types of things make us the stronger person
Yes.
that we would be.
I think so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because you learned responsibility.
You
You
do.
learned that you're, when you took a job, it was you made a promise to whoever hired you and to that organization that you were now representing that organization. So whatever you did was going to be tied in with them. So it was an expectation of acting a certain way, of behaving a
Right.
certain way, of doing things a certain way. And
Mhm.
if you better do a good job. There was no slacking, because
No,
Right.
and they would expect it of you.
yes,
There was
Uh-huh.
the expectation of
Yes.
you was to do an excellent job and show up.
yes,
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're representing that particular place or that
Exactly.
particular job that you're doing. And you know, your parent, I remember this. I worked also at the electric company taking bills during one summer vacation. And there was a lady that I worked with that I really liked, and she was very nice. And later I got a job after school started again at Pizza Hut. That's what I did for many years. I was always a waitress there. So her son, who I had met, came in with his friends and sat at the table. And I went over to them and waited on them and did all this stuff. And I get, when they leave me a piece of paper. And it says, you just got effed out of a tip because you were part of the Dumb Effers Club. Thanks, sucker. And I wanted to compel her. Yes. I wanted to go and march over to and say, look what your son did. He didn't know. He didn't know who I was. So this is what's so interesting about when one person remembers and the other doesn't.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Absolutely right about that.
Yeah. Yep.
My memory and my sister's memories are so divergent of things, for instance.
Yeah.
And we were there at the same time. So
yes, yeah.
Oh, that's great, Mary. Walking and passing out circulars. You're a fast walker. Well, there you go. You know, you didn't slack. I did the same thing with phone books. I just did it because I thought it would be interesting. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So
no, it was different. It was different. I think that those are the things that I miss. You know, when I when I go into a store now and you see there's someone behind the till and they're on their phone.
Yeah.
And you go to pay for your stuff and they kind of look at you like, just a minute.
Yeah.
You know, like,
or crossing the street.
Exactly.
The light changes, I run. That's
me
who I am.
But nowadays, they
Uh-huh.
stroll like they will stretch that baby and they don't care if it blinks off. They are
Right.
going to make it last. How slow can I move across the crosswalk? And I am going to turn and look at you
Yeah.
and get satisfaction.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so- oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's
funny.
yeah. No such thing
What?
as customer service.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't
Yeah.
even think
The,
about
the
things.
social graces are,
Yes,
where are they?
Yeah.
I know. I know.
And the thing is that we could have been our mothers having this conversation 40
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
So when my kids will, when I used to say things to them, they'd say, "Oh, mom, and now I'm hearing those things from them. They don't have kids, but I'm hearing what they,
Yeah.
So I
Now-
really do think we just catch up to being that person because
Now-
it gets worse and worse. Go
But
ahead,
I
Val.
have to say, something just flashed in my mind, and I have to tell you. Last night I had to go to the grocery store. It was about 5:30 at night, and I usually don't go when it's dark, and it was dark here. But I pulled into the parking lot, and I pulled next to a vehicle, and there was nobody in it, but I parked, and I was just about to get out, and a young man, a kid, probably in junior high, maybe high school, came up and he was going to get in the car door, but he saw me coming out and he backed out and he stood at the back of the car. He was going to get in the passenger side and he waited for me to get out. And
That's
I said,
so rare that you
I
will
said,
always remember
thank
it.
you. And he
Yeah.
said, you're welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Somebody's teaching manners.
I'm sorry, son. Are you new here? Where do you come from?
Yeah.
Waiting for me.
Yeah.
And then when I said thank you, he said, you're welcome. Hello.
Yeah,
I
really?
know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Carolyn, you would get a few hits with a board and he'd use his hand and left bruises?
Yeah, there
Oh,
was corporal
yeah.
punishment. Yes, corporal punishment.
The strap.
Yeah.
That's what it was. The
Yeah.
strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I did this too. I babysat too, Jen.
Yes.
9. I started at 9 as well. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
for 50 cents an hour, 75 cents after midnight.
Yes. And
Oh.
you kind of hope that you at least
Yes.
get maybe an hour of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
And
Well-
with $2.50, I was rich. I could
Right.
buy me anything I wanted. It was just,
I just hated taking care of kids though.
I
So
did
one
too.
time-
I did
one
it too. I babysat and I didn't like it.
I hated it.
And
I was
said,
in
"What am
high
I gonna
school.
do?"
Yeah.
I thought, what am I going to do when I have my own? Because I don't like it.
I babysat these kids and I was putting them to bed and one of the kids said, "Please don't turn off the light. My mommy lets me keep the light on. She just keeps something covered over the light." And I said, "Oh, all right." So I threw this jacket over the top of this light shade. Next thing I know, I'm smelling something.
It's when it was on fire.
It was a plastic light shade. It had tipped and hit
Whoa.
and it was a brand new coat that the kid had. That was like a windbreaker, not a big deal, but there was like 6 kids and they probably couldn't afford it. And I felt like SHIT for doing that. But they had me back, but boy, oh boy, was I embarrassed. Oh my God.
It wasn't your fault. You were
I
doing
know.
what the kid, you were doing what the kid told you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I remember my sister and I would babysit, and there's a family friends that we used to call, Uncle Con and Auntie Joan. And when they had kids, we would sometimes take turns babysitting. And I remember Auntie Joan telling Mom one day that yeah, going forward, that she thought that she would have me come up and babysit a little more than my sister. And Mom
Mhm.
said, "Oh, why is that?" And she said, "Well, I talked to the girls and asked them which one of the two they preferred coming up as a babysitter. And both of them said the sister, because she lets us have all the treats we want." And she said, "That's all I need to know."
Oh,
I
Yeah.
know
No, no.
they always do that. You know, you're not supposed to. Don't tell your
they
parents that
got
I let you have.
ratted
Yeah.
on. She
Yeah,
got
they go
ratted
blab it
on.
away.
Yeah. Yeah. But
She
it,
got
it
ratted
was,
on.
Norm,
it
it's
was,
okay, honey. It's
yeah.
okay. And you know what? He said that he worked and gave his money to his mother, some of it, you know, maybe all of
Oh,
it. My brother did that. He worked at the farm and he
Yes.
would come home and give my mother the money. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karen, I'm glad we're giving you a little bit of comfort. I'm sorry you lost your power, dear. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Just be glad we're done with high school. Let's just.
You know,
I mean,
there's some really good things about it, like the music. I love the
Yes.
music.
oh, the music was great.
David Bowie and
Oh, Iron
yeah.
Butterfly, Inagata Davida,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
we're talking,
that is
Yeah.
bad.
Mama
Stairway to
told me
Heaven.
not to come. Mama
Yeah, I
told me.
mean, there's a lot of good stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, over the weekend, I went to the movies with a friend of mine, and we saw a complete unknown, the story of Bob
Oh,
Dylan.
yes. Yes. Yeah.
Really
Definitely.
interesting. And I got to tell you, the audience was pretty full. I was expecting, little bit. No, it was
Uh-huh.
almost a packed
Wow.
theater, and it people who looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
And when the music came on, you could hear the hum of the voices of everyone singing along.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how that kid was going to do, because isn't he with one of the Kardashian girls, Timothy Chalamet? I believe he's the
I
boyfriend of
think so.
Kendall or one of
They
those
break
younger
up
ones.
so often; it's hard to keep.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. But
Mhm.
Yes.
apparently he worked with Bob Dylan, and they came up
Yeah.
with the way that they picked the clothing that he wore, and so it reminds me of how well Rami Malek did Freddie Mercury,
Yeah,
and I'm dying to see it. So yeah, that's
Yes.
wonderful.
yeah. I saw
Yeah.
some cuts from it, and
Uh-huh.
he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, in that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
ABBA. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Oh yes, that was my college years. But yes, ABBA was everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I used
But
to
yeah.
go to the roller skating rink with my sister as adults, and we'd
Yeah.
skate to ABBA.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dancing Queen.
So Norm says he was a disco loving freak, and he used to listen to ABBA every day. I love that,
Yes.
Norm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was a good roller skating
Yes.
kind of music.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, Suzanne
Mhm.
Fortier, love Freddie Mercury.
Mhm.
Amazing guy. Amazing guy. Amazing
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah, there's so many good people. So Karen has a power outage. We do know that the fires have destroyed Pacific Palisades, and that there are a lot of people, and including Kelly Healer is also in the middle of it. There's a lot. Karen lives near it. So yes, let's just pray for rain to ease the fires in California, and for the winds to calm for those folks. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. I just want to call upon the archangels and the angels to come, and all of the shaman holy spirits to bring the rain. And we can do a metaphoric rain dance for these beautiful people, and provide the safety and loving care for all of them. Amen. Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Okay. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So be it. It is done.
It is done. This community did it. Yep. So yeah, I know I didn't realize how many people were miserable about their high school, but the only one of the reasons why I thought it would be fun was because the three of us were in that same
We were. I mean,
70s
we have
time.
common memories of the era and what we went through. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so many things. I don't know about you, but I remember very much Kent State University, the shooting of
me
and
too.
the song
Yeah.
Ohio by Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Yes.
My brother was in Vietnam 3 times. And so we'd hear people protesting about the war. And I was there saying no, because I was worried about my brother and not coming home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have this question. Did any of you eat with a TV tray and watch the news when you were?
My aunt and my cousins all had the TV tray thing, and so did my grandma. But our family never got into the TV
Wouldn't
tray.
do it.
We sat at the kitchen table, but we did eat in front of the TV. We brought our plates in and put them on our lap.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, I'll never forget this. Every night we had a black and white TV, even though it was the 70s. And we would bring in the TV tray, and every night all we saw was people killing each other and dead bodies and all that stuff.
The era, I know all of you who are younger don't remember and wouldn't know, but they showed us everything, things they shouldn't have shown us. It was too much. It was a generation of high school kids and younger who saw dead bodies piling up all over, and it was
awful.
It was awful.
There was four, but I think there were some people that actually also had injuries there. But it was
graphic, and it was nightly, graphic and nightly.
Yep, absolutely. It was. And today, 60 men are dead in Vietnam.
Exactly.
They would bring in. They put all that information up, and nothing was hidden. Nothing ever. Yeah.
No.
But
but in one way, it may have desensitized you to it because they showed it like a video game, seeing and playing, and people get killed. People get killed pretty soon. Oh, people get killed. Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, that's the desensitization of seeing something over and over and over.
Yeah.
And,
I remember my friend in high school, her brother was class of 69 or 68.
Yeah.
And he went to Woodstock.
Woodstock.
And there was some others that went, because we were in New Hampshire and they just rode over to New York. Wasn't that far.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So
man, exciting.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? We did not watch a whole lot of TV during the week. I mean, and Saturdays, yes, we would watch TV on Saturdays. We would watch it not the Disney Channel, but Walt Disney World, whatever they happen to have on Saturday night. And that was like there wasn't really a lot of time spent in front of the TV.
No, well, that's true.
There was other things to do. You were busy outside. We were busy.
I'm the exception. My family was a TV-aholic family. TV was always running, and we sat down for a bonanza, Gunsmoke. Have Gun Will Travel. I can't even think of all the shows. Father Knows Best, Leave It to Beaver, whatever the shows were. We sat down, and there were
watched as a family.
The family.
Do you remember? We only had 4 channels, though.
Yes.
And did you get PBS? I don't know
if
you
more than 4 channels, because by then we had cable. We had cable TV come in, but we before that had. My dad got this antenna that could be changed and that would rotate up on the roof and get everything. But we had cable. When I was in high school, we had cable. So we had, all the channels.
Yeah.
But, so we had all that. So we we definitely were watching.
Well, there was a show on PBS back in 1970, and
Mhm.
it was the Loud family, Loud. They lived in Santa Barbara,
Yeah.
and it was like they went into their house and videotaped the family, like the first,
Oh wow.
and the people ended up getting divorced.
Oh, whoopsie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember telling my students when they said, this is all new, these reality shows. I'm like, not really.
Not really. That
Yeah.
would be an example of the not really. And
Yeah.
Leah, I saw the Prisoner series as well.
Oh,
I mean,
I love this one. Car
Car
54.
54.
yes, and Car 54, Where Are You? That was a
Uh-huh.
very good. Yep.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Oh, you met Lance Loud, David? Wow, that's amazing. Oh my God. Who would have
Nice.
thought? Yeah. Well, Diana went to Woodstock, so we need to do a show about that, Diana. Let me know when you want to do that.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, American Bandstand. Oh, Mary
yeah.
Jimenez. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
American Bandstand. We used to always watch that. My sister and I always have it on Bandstand.
We're
Yeah.
really hopping. We're really hopping. Gonna drop in all the music they play on the bandstand. When I was a little girl, 5, my brother, who was 13 years older than me, would pick me up and we'd watch Bandstand every Saturday and dance around the living room. So yeah, talk about early conditioning,
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my.
Oh, wow.
Well, honestly, hello, Andrew. It's nice to see you. We're just almost done. Yeah. Oh, it was all lip synced. Oh, you've just ruined our life.
Oh man, no.
It's like Milli Vanilli.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you, everybody. We are at the top of the hour. And thanks for putting up with the 70s high school experience. Thank you for sharing some of your information, your jobs, your interest, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's been fun.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. Every once in a while, it's nice to go down memory lane.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you are not already signed up for Marina and Val's channels, please go like and subscribe. And we'll be back next week. I don't think Val will be here, but Shari will be.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week on Shari's channel, I think. It's Shari's turn, right? Not yours, Marina? Okay.
I do. No. Next week
yours?
is me.
Oh.
It's me. So come see me on my channel next week.
Yes, we'll all be on Marina's channel. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.